Have you ever thought about the makeup of your leadership style and, more importantly, what effect it has on those within your teams and around you? I'm going to go through a few examples, and this might help get you started if you've never thought about this before, because it has a massive impact. First is something like attention to detail. As a leader, are you high in attention to detail or low in attention to detail? What matters to you? If your style is to be very high in attention to detail, there's a very good chance that some or all within your team are not going to meet that standard. And how you respond to that and react to that is extremely important. The alternative being you're very low attention to detail, and some in your team are going to be the opposite of that, and they're going to get very frustrated in your lack of attention to detail. So knowing where you are on that scale and then adapting to it and sort of building contingency around it is extremely important. Second, communication style. Do you actually consciously think about how you communicate with others? Are you highly extroverted? Are you very much an in-person conversational type operator? In some industries, that's really valuable. In some teams, that can be quite difficult for some who are not built the same way. Or you're very low in extroversion, very high in introversion, and therefore you close your office door, you get exhausted by having team meetings and conversations, and some of those around you can really struggle with that. So knowing your style, extroversion, introversion, how you communicate, let's say, versus the team that you have and how well that fits together is extremely important to know. Like the value of the value of knowing how well you align with the introversion, extroversion of those within your team will totally change the way you approach communication. Here's another one, a final one, and that is setting expectations. So as a leader, do you A, set expectations well, behavioral, cultural, and B, follow up on expectations well, cultural and behavioral? Because if we're not setting expectations as a leader, 6 months, 12 months down the road, we're having team meetings with our team or individuals, and we're saying, why aren't you meeting these standards? And they're saying, what bloody standards? So how you set expectations and then consistently follow them up. If you're very good at it, great. That's going to increase the probability of you being a very successful leader. If you're not great at it, you need to build contingency around it, and you need to know what effect that has on those around you. So this is just a few lenses to look through. One is something in the order of attention to detail, introversion, extroversion, communication style, and then setting expectations. Have a think about within your style how well you handle these three things and 40 more, and you start to become instructed as to why you might be getting some of the outcomes from your team that you can't make sense of right now.